Hello viewers and welcome back to my radio repair channel. We actually have a radio this time. This is a Graetz Potpourri. It's been on my channel before, about 3 years ago, and that's when I first got it. That's when I was still living in Hunsbroek. It's been transported over here, of course, together with all the other household goods, so to speak. I talked about it before in previous videos, how that all went. They really don't seem to care much about your stuff. Like I said, I think it's just a waste of money to get international movers to transport your stuff from one side to the world to the other side, unless there are things that's really important to you, but otherwise it's a waste of money. They break all your stuff, and well, not all of it, but a lot of it got damaged. And like I said, you can move a few things that are really important to you, or you have some kind of memories of, or stuff like that. But for the rest, forget it. Just give all your stuff away, or try to sell it, maybe even if it's not that old, and just buy other stuff at your new location, and just don't even bother. But okay, this one old radio, yeah, you couldn't replace it. I don't think you'll be able to find one over here, but I'm rambling too much. What's up? It's been damaged a little bit during the transportation. The lid, as you know, opens as a record player underneath it. At the back where the hinge is mounted, that's where the hood is split and came loose. You know, you can see that here. See, it's not so good, and the chip came off. Fortunately, I found the chip in the box, so I'll be able to glue it all back together. Another thing is that I did test it already. On FM it's not working it's the way it is as should, and record player is also not working. So let's have a look. So here's the radio switched on. It's already warmed up a little bit. And oh. Well, the radio makes me a liar. It's, I tried it last night. There was no sound coming from the FM, just some squealing. No, it's actually working very well. All right. Well, that's how they make you a liar. Seems to work. I hadn't opened the back panel yet to see.
Itulah yang namanya menyebabkan kanker pada bagian kerongkongan atau.
There's just its own internal antenna is fitted. So
organ pencernaan paling pertama pada tubuh kita, sehingga ketika
it receives pretty good, I have to say. So let me adjust the camera a little bit. You can see the rest of my face too. Oh, maybe that's not a plus.
Sariawan bukan pertanda dari panas dalam, melainkan sudah ada.
But I hadn't opened the back panel yet to see if all the tubes were seated properly. So that's something I need to do anyway. Yeah, as you know, underneath the lid here is a little record player. See if we can see that a little better. Here it is. Oh, I have to point it here. If you switch it on, lift the tone arm up and pull it sideways a little bit, you can hear the little motor run. Well, you probably can't, but I can. But the platter is not spinning. The platter itself is not stuck, you see, it does spin, so it must be something else. So that means we have to do some investigation and take it apart and see what's up. And of course, there's a lot of rubber bits inside, like there is a belt and there is a rubber idler wheel and whatever that stuff is called. I don't know. So I'm not a record player repairman. I do know how it works, but, you know. But we have to figure out what's wrong with it to see to make it work. First, I think I will glue this piece together, back together, because you have to move it up and down, and like I said, there's not much strength in it anymore, and I'm afraid I'm only going to make it worse. So that's one of the first things I will do. I will get some glue that stuff back together, maybe put a little screw in there, just have to investigate how it's made, how it's been done by whoever made this radio. Maybe I can make it a little stronger or so, I don't know. Let's see how we get. But first of all, like I said, I try to fix the cabinet so that's at least in one piece. So if I move it around, so I don't make it worse. And then I think, well, take the back panel off. That is the least thing we have to do. See if all the tubes are still seated properly. And I still wonder why it was squealing yesterday. On FM or UKW, UKW, it's a German radio. It was squealing. I couldn't get any station in. The magical eye was open all the way. Something wasn't right. So I want to show you this, and then of course it plays perfectly. Now, maybe there's a tube that is not properly seated. That's possible. You will investigate and see. But first things first, of course. I took the back panel off just to have a look inside. All the tubes are in there and they're seated properly, but what I saw is that this cable is from the record player. There's a mouse has been chewing on it, and that's not a surprise because I did have a mouse here. I managed to catch it, but he has been chewing on the cable, so I have to repair that. Another thing, when I took the back panel off, I found this little ball bearing inside. Together with this, I think this belongs together. Now I don't know exactly what this is off, so I have to investigate that. So I'm guessing it's from the record player. So that would explain why that is why it's not working properly. There's another thing I noticed. This tube, there should be a shield over it, and it doesn't have it, and that might explain the squealing. So it's tube, what is it again? EABC80 or 6AK8. See in my stash if I still have a shield for it. I hope I do, because that probably was the reason for it squealing. So let's have a look. Now I couldn't find a shield. No, I have lots of spare parts, boxes with tubes and everything. And I was hoping that in between all that stuff I would find a shield, because I usually do save them. But I don't know, maybe I didn't take them, maybe I gave them away already to someone, I don't know. So, but I don't have one. So, but I found a piece of aluminium. This is an old shield from an outside light, which broke and was beyond fixing, but I kept the good bits, so to speak, and well, they serve me now. So, piece of pipe, it's PVC, it doesn't matter, could have been any kind of material, and I will form it over this pipe and then cut it to size, and that will be my shield. So let's do that. So here's the little shield I made out of the piece of aluminium. I put it over the tube, so that's already an improvement. Now I think I'll take the record player out and to see where that ball bearing is supposed to go. I have no idea. Here's the record player taking out of the radio and put upside down. But I can't see anything. I mean, I still don't know where the ball bearing belongs. So I have to take it apart a little further. What I've seen is that this wheel is not exactly stuck, but it's not turning happily, so to speak. It's not supple. And that's why the record player is also not working. You can see the little motor spinning if you switch it on, but this wheel stands still. And this is also is for the speed adjuster. That's why it has different levels where the belt can go over. So I'll take the mechanism a little bit further apart and see if we can well, at least make this go better. And then maybe we find out where the ball bearing belongs. Well, I found where the ball bearing goes, and it's in this wheel. Here goes the ball, and here's that little, we'll call it a cage that goes over it. So I have to put this back together. Well, you see here's the whole mechanical part of the record player. I hope I can get it back together the way it was. I should have made a picture of it maybe, but I didn't expect it to come apart this far. I only took a few screws out and I think, well, I just take the whole assembly out and then check this wheel and I put it back together, but more bits and pieces came off. But we will see. It probably will be self-explaining if you put it back together, I suppose. So I cleaned it. We'll put some new grease on certain parts that will either have to twist and turn. Put everything back together and see what we have. Yeah, here we are. It's a day later. I glued it together. I clamped it. Now I couldn't find my clamp, of course, for wood clamp. I don't know what you call those things. So I had to come up with something else. I think I left those wood clamps behind. Maybe there's still a Hundsbroek. So I had to come up with something else to hold this together, because I didn't feel like holding it myself for hours on end. So this, I can take it off now, is actually a clamp which you hold your light. You know, these lights a bit onto your desk. It also works. It did the job. So that's it. So this is glued together. That little broken off chip is on there also. So that's good. I fixed the wire from the record player. The record player itself has been put back together and is working. I already tested it. To get all the old grease and grime off the mechanism, there's all the little shafts and pulleys, I used a carburetor cleaner. I just did that because that's what I had. I was actually looking for some brake cleaner, but that's, you know, in the other house, so to speak, so I didn't feel like going there. So is there anything else I have? And I found a spray can with carburetor cleaner. So well, use that, it should work, because that usually dissolves all the gunk which is inside your carburetor also. And hey, it works beautifully. Actually, I like that better than the brake cleaner I normally would use for cleaning you know, dirty mechanisms, to dissolve the old hard grease. So it works beautifully. So there you go. Right, so it's time to wire it up, turn the radio around and test it. So let's switch it on.
Kalau kita sudah ada keluhan permasalahan pada bagian,
the radio is working, but we already knew that, of course. What you want to know now is whether the record player is still working. It does work. I have to lift this up a bit, that's all, of course, in the way. We actually can see the record player. See if we can. Yeah, that's better. So I have to put it on a record player, and then, oh, then it's not working. Oh, what is that? Well, that comes. I know the belt is a bit stretched. Yeah, it might have something to do with it. Or might. That probably has something to do with it. Hang on for a second. I see what I did wrong. I didn't select a speed here. It was in the center. Just to. And if you do that with these old record players, then the idler wheel is not touching the platter. Can you see there, this one? So if you put that somewhere in the middle, then the idler wheel is not hitting the platter. And the good thing is that if you would leave it there on a certain speed, the idle wheel is constantly touching the platter with the spring load, and then you would be getting a flat spot after some time. So therefore, if you're finished and you're not planning on using that radio often, you better turn it like, well, put it, say like it's halfway. So, all right, here we go.
Hello, Josephine.
Well, that's it. I can't play it much longer. Because of copyright strikes, of course. You know how that goes. But that's it. The radio is working again. The record player is working again. I just made a mistake. I didn't select speed, so that's why it wasn't spinning. And I was a little like, huh? Why is nothing happening? I tested it, you know, earlier on, and it all worked. And then when you start to make a video, then all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. but I had it the other way around with that radio. You know, I told you it was squealing when I tested it. So when at the beginning of this video, I wanted to let you hear that what it did on FM, and then of course it didn't do it. Still, I had to do something about it, which was the shield that goes around one of the tubes for a protective. Well, that's actually what stops it from doing that. All right, good. Great result. I would say I have to put the back panel on, of course. I haven't done that yet, and then I would have to polish it to make it look a little better than it does right now. And then it's beer tasting time again. Well, here we are. This is almost the end of the video. The radio is fixed. It works again. The record player is fixed. I polished it a little bit so it looks a little shiny. And well, that's it. Great result, I would say. Well, towards the end of every video, of course, I'll usually do a beer taste, and also this time. And this time I have typical Indonesian beer, Singaraja. It's a Pilsner. I did a little bit of homework this time to see where it actually comes from. Singaraja comes from the beautiful island Bali. It's from the north. Singaraja used to be the capital city of Bali until 1958, and that's where the beer has its name. Now it's the capital city of Bali is Denpasar, and that's on the south now, of course. The brewery is founded in 1975, and it's Bever Indo Indah Abadi. That's the name of the brewery. I thought it was mistakenly at first. I thought it was Stark beer brewery, but that's not true. That is a beer brewery in Bali, but that's not the one that makes Singaraja. Singaraja is made by Bever Indah Abadi. Okay. Alcohol percentage 4.8, so that's not bad. Well, let's open it up and have a taste. No, still don't have a proper beer glass, but I will get one day, don't worry about it. Let's pour it. Yeah, it's blonde, it's Pilsner. There we go. Well, proost. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, it's different from the typical bintang. This is a little bit more sweeter, I think. It's more sweet. Yeah, I don't know where you can compare it with. No, I can't think of anything that would be close to it. But it's a very nice beer, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or remarks or anything at all, put them in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you next time.